Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the Cessna Skyhawk C172. We have a 34 nautical mile flight from Sierra Echo Echo Gillespie Field to Charlie Romeo Quebec Palomar. Both of those are Class Deltas. We'll be flying VFR and managing the complex airspace of San Diego's Class Bravo. It should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. After a couple flights with the C172, we're back in the Skyhawk in 5207 Quebec. So we'll verify our parking brake is set, our switches are all off, our circuit breakers are in, our trim will set to takeoff, verify the mixture is to idle cutoff, and the throttle is to idle. We'll head down here and push the fuel shutoff valve in, rotate the fuel selector through each position, and put it back to the center tank. That all looks good. So now we'll head down here and we'll get the battery and master on. We'll check the fuel quantity left and right, and we've got full tanks, which looks good. I'm actually used to the C152 layout. I have to get back to the 172 now. We'll check the prop area is clear and call clear prop. Now we'll head back down here, and we're going to bring the mixture most of the way in, turn the fuel pump on for a few seconds, turn it back off, feet on the brakes, keys are in the ignition, and we'll crank it over. It's actually a quirk of WB Sim, it's a little finicky for starting. So now we'll bring the mixture into full rich. Alright, RPMs are at 1,000 and we have oil pressure over here on our left, so that looks like a good startup. Next, we'll lean the mixture for ground operations. Alright, looks good. So we can head down here to our switches.
Montgomery Tower information, Alpha 1953 Zulu, wind 100 at 6, visibility greater than 10, few clouds at 2000, temperature 16, 2.9, altimeter 2990, ILS runway 28 right approach, in use, also landing and departing.
That is the real-world ATIS from Montgomery, streamed via live ATC. We're running with live weather, so everything should match up.
Runway alignment indicator lights unserviceable. Use caution multiple cranes on and about the airport property. All aircraft be back hold short instruction and runway assignment with call sign. Advise on initial contact. Queue of information Alpha.
Gillespie ground, Skyhawk 5207 Quebec at the cafe. Taxi for west departure with information Alpha. Taxi and hold short, runway 9 right via Alpha Delta Delta 2, Skyhawk 5207 Quebec. Alright, I'll test my brakes, and they work. As I taxi, I'll open up ForeFlight and take you through the flight brief. So we're running with live weather, and the real-life weather is a bit of a mess with air mets for turbulence, icing, and mountain obscuration, although most are at altitudes above 7,000, which we will not be at. If we click on Gillespie Field, it's winds calm, scattered 5,000 currently, which isn't too bad, but if you open up the TAF actually predicted it would be marginal VFR, with overcast 1,000 and showers in the vicinity. If we click on Palomar for our destination, we can see that the current weather is winds calm, skies clear, but again, its TAF predicted few 2,500 showers in the vicinity. So I think in real life this would be a no-go for me for cross country, even though the current weather looks fine. It's probably just a pocket of clearness, and there's a chance I'd end up in clouds. So we've got the San Diego Class Bravo to contend with, which is a complicated airspace. We're departing from a Class Delta, and if you zoom in on Gillespie Field, it goes up to 2,400, and then the Class Bravo starts at 4,800. Just to our left is Montgomery, which goes up to 2,900, so we have to fly between 2,900 and 4,800 to remain clear of the airspaces. And then to the north of us is a little segment that has dual Class Bravo airspaces. I'll talk about that in a bit. Beyond that, Class Bravo is 6,800, then we've got 2,800 for McClellan. So, long story short, we're going to fly at 4,500 through all of that, which will thread the needle through the airspaces. It's actually hard to find the fly airspaces in ForeFlight. They're in the Documents folder. But if you click on San Diego Fly and open it up, you can see the flyways that are defined. So The flyways suggest 4,500 to thread the needle here. There's a VFR corridor note right on the chart, and it publishes a CTAF frequency of 126.050 that we can use to communicate with other pilots while we're in the corridor. So the flyway is 4,500 that will overfly Montgomery's Glass Delta and keep us clear of that while keeping us below the Bravo shelves. We'll turn north at Mount Soledad, overfly Torrey Pines Golf Course at 4,500, continue past the Del Mar racetrack at 4,500 until we get to Palomar. You can see we've got a bunch of VFR reporting points here, such as Lake Murray and Snapdragon Stadium, and we'll be using those to help us navigate and keep clear of all of our spaces. Alright, we'll check our flight controls. Elevator up, elevator down, left rudder, left controls brings the right aileron down, right controls brings the left aileron down. That all looks good. So now we'll head down here and get our mixture into full rich for the run up. We're going to bring our throttle up to 1,700. And next we'll do our magneto check. So we'll turn off mag left, wrong way, turn off mag left, and watch for the drop. There it is. Back to both. We'll get our strobe lights on, our landing light on, our taxi light off. Gillespie Tower, Skyhawk 5207 Quebec, holding short, runway 9 right at Delta 2. Cleared for takeoff, runway 9 right at Delta 2, Skyhawk 5207 Quebec. Alright, game on. 9 right is the shorter of the two runways, which is perfect for us since we're just flying Skyhawk. Those clouds do look a bit imposing, but they're at 5,000, and they become clear as we head further west. Alright, full power. Airspeed's alive, gauges look good. Coming up on 55, and rotate. And we're up. We're going to pitch for 70 knots here. And I love when you can see your shadow on the ground. So we've got our shadow getting smaller and smaller as we're climbing. Awesome. We're in a photogrammetry area, so we should have some fantastic scenery as we do our climb out. Okay, we're going to turn right crosswind. And we're going to maneuver here a little bit so that we get clear of the field out of the crosswind. Then we'll turn on our initial heading, which I have set up in the heading bug, but most likely we'll be able to see Lake Murray, which is our first waypoint. And we'll just point the nose towards Lake Murray instead of flying the actual heading in the heading bug. So we roll out here onto the crosswind, check out all this awesome photogrammetry. I am jealous. I wish I had photogrammetry in my area, but this whole area around Gillespie Field just looks fantastic.
Aircat 85, where are you flying from today? How was it?
So if you look at the heading bug, we've got a slight right-hand turn to come to our heading, and as we do, we're going to look for Lake Murray, and there it is. I can see it. See the lake just to the right of the nose there. So we're going to line up the nose with Lake Murray because that's our first waypoint. We're actually overshooting the heading a little bit. That was dialed into the heading bug. Now that we're on track, we can head down here to the autopilot. I've got 4,500 for the altitude, and we've got navs using the actual waypoint setup. So let's sit back and enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. Alright, that was an awesome VFR flight. This is a complex airspace with lots of VFR reporting points called out on the flyways, so if you like flying with your eyeballs like I do, then I encourage you to give this flight a try. So I hope you enjoy realistic general aviation flying like this. If you do, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, as always, for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.